get ready to dance with the devil on All Stars 9 with this 666ing Rusical. I'm Anna Rumor with PopCulture.
And I'm Nick Valdez from Comic Book.
And this is Social Call, where we offer up our unfiltered opinions about RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 9, and holy guacamole, this was quite the Rusical. Now, Nick, what did you think about this week's episode, in which we had Rosemarie's baby shower, the Rusical?
I mean, holy guacamole is right? I think that's all we can say. You know, the Rusicals, they used to be a little rough. They used to be hard to watch, but in the last few seasons, in particular, they've gotten so good. I don't know what's happened behind the scenes to like make them compose better, or film better, or just highlighting everyone better, but this season, I don't know, it might be my favorite yet. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the concept, maybe it's everyone in it, it's just everything hit for me this year.
Yeah, I agree. It's been harder and harder to find bad performances in the Rusicals recently. I say we just go through kind of like our tops for the entire episode, both the runway and the Rusicals. That sound good to you?
Yes, absolutely, let's do it.
I'm the future queen, holy guacamole, guacamole.
So when we're talking Rusical, runway, combined score for you, who were your tops of the week?
I really want to shout out Vanjie. Vanjie only had one part as like the actual baby, as Rosemarie's baby. But, you know, she came out at the end, and this is where we get the holy guacamole part, and, like, I think they referenced, like, Sam Smith during it or something. I don't know, but whatever it was, it all worked for me. I was loving Vanjie. This is the perfect, like, spot for her, perfect use. And then she comes out in the runway with that fantastic clam look, like just straight out of like Little Mermaid, and I was in. It was camp, but it was also like super pretty. Like, she's gorgeous.
She really is so beautiful. She killed it on stage, and then my only complaint about the clam look was that Plastique did one that was like a little bit more elevated, but you're right. Vanjie's leaned more into the camp part of it. So I really don't have anything negative to say other than they both did, you know, something similar. But it's a pearl runway. What are you gonna do? Not show up as a clam?
Speaking of Plastique, she also did very well. Yes, she was super gorgeous on the runway, of course. I don't know, with Plastique, it's kind of like yes, she was great. 10s across the board, of course. Plastique, yes, you're great, we love you. But in the Rusical too, she was great. Like, she was the actual Rosemarie, and she had a very spicy number.
She certainly did, and I honestly love that pixie cut on her. She really killed it too, and her dancing was amazing. Her vocals were great because everyone was recording their own vocals this season. I thought she did a really good job. I was actually really surprised by Jorgeous though, because Jorgeous, like, as we know, some weeks she just doesn't connect with me. But as this, what was it, the AI doll, she's M3gan, she killed it. She found the perfect combination of like charming and drag in the dancing with the robot. I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah, it's funny because the licensing, they couldn't outright say Megan, so the whole time I was confused. I was like, what do they mean by AI doll? What is that? But then it's Megan. So if they could have just said Megan the whole time, I would have understood it. Once again, just like Vanjie, this was perfect for Jorgeous. She figured out the right balance of being robotic without being robotic, and like, she killed that choreography. I think she had the hardest choreo out of everybody, especially when you throw in the Megan dances from like the viral stuff. And her runway look wasn't the best out of, like, it wasn't, you know, I wish it had more pearls compared to everyone else when you see everyone else's looks, but she was still good. Like, all around, Jorgeous was good.
I do have to challenge you a little bit with the runway. This is the same dress we get from Jorgeous all the time. It just had like a little pearl, a pleat at the hip and at the bust. Like, she's always beautiful, of course, but she walks out in this dress every single time, and I'm like, girl, I have seen this. How many of them in different colors do you have?
That's true. I'll give you that. I think I was more distracted by like the hair, that like Bride of Frankenstein kind of streak in pearls that I was really loving. But I think it all balanced out, and clearly the judges also agreed, you know, because then Yeah, she's in the top of the episode alongside Chanel, like, was surprisingly great too, but also I don't know if compared to everyone else, right?
She was fine, but like, she certainly wasn't top two. She was Sydney. She was one of the the landlords who's like in connection with the devil. So she was a bigger role, but like, I don't think she really killed it. And then on the runway, she was like an alien princess with weird cutouts. I did like that she took a risk there, but like, both of these performances together, it was not giving top two for me. And then they exclude Nina, who is a Broadway star and goes out there as Dr. Poltergeist and like slays it with this Southern Baptist kind of exorcism performance. I mean, I didn't love her runway. I thought it made her look very bulky and like just kind of like a square, but she should have deserved more recognition than Chanel, at least. I mean, I love Chanel, but like, this was not the week to give her the win.
Yeah, when Chanel won, it was like, I'm glad Chanel wins, because I love Chanel, and I'm glad she's finally, it all worked out for her in the end. But also, was this the week to do it? I don't know.
It feels like when they gave Leo DiCaprio the Oscar for The Revenant. It's like,
yeah.
Are we just doing this for everything else?
Yeah, this is the legacy win, right? And with Chanel and Georges, when they get top two, and the whole gimmick of the episode is, it's two badges again. Two beautiful benefactress badges, one to win and one to give away. When we get to the final lip sync between the two of them, it's pretty good. I can't lie. I was enjoying it as well.
All right.
They took on Love Come Home in very different styles. Georges was giving kind of like more new drag, like serving and like rolling around and looking hot. But Chanel was very much giving like old drag queen stage presence. And they both did a really good job. It was kind of like tough to compare the two, which is why when they tied in the end, I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's, I did agree, because the song also kind of washed them both out in terms of like styles, and it wasn't really leaning towards one or the other in terms of who could actually win. I'm glad Chanel actually held her own too, because that's the thing. It's like, you hear about Chanel being legendary, but then when you see her perform, it's like, oh yeah, this is why you're at the top of your game. This is why people say you're legendary. This is why you've been doing this for so long. And to stand up to someone like Georges, who's like doing all sorts of flips and tricks and everything, like, yes, this is great. They do win, and they decide to give each other their own badges. So it's like, cool. Chanel ends up with 2 with their first win, and Georges is at 4. This puts 3 of the queens up at 4. But notably, RuPaul also said that there's a chance for everyone to make it into the top 3 before it's over. So I don't know, are we getting another 3-star twist here with like, whoever wins this one gets like 5 badges or something?
I don't even think they know at this point. I think the producers are just scrambling behind the scenes being like, can they give each other badges? Sure, that would be dramatic. Who cares? We don't have any rules for this format yet. We're doing whatever we want. Well, and next week too, it's getting extra confusing because we have a lip sync Lollapalooza, I'm assuming for badges, but like, are we taking badges away? Like, what are we gonna do with this next step in the show? I have no idea. So who do you think is gonna take home the Lollapalooza next week, Nick? Do you have any predictions?
I don't know. Maybe Georges again? Like, Georges seems to be getting like all sorts of wins out of nowhere. Like, to be 100% honest, like, there's a lot of that. But then Roxy's never lost a lip sync, so this might be Roxy's to like finally firm her place in the top 3. So who knows?
That's true. Or her fall from grace. No, I'm nervous. Okay, no, I'm too nervous. Well, we're gonna recap whatever happens with you next week. So make sure you like and subscribe below. Drop a comment. Who was your favorite in the Rusical? And then head over to popculture.com for the latest entertainment news. All right, until next time, have a good week, everyone. Thanks for watching.